the two witnesses will be given power to spread the gospel to the world. You're going to see the power of God fall from the sky like we haven't seen since the book of Acts. The two witnesses will be on the scene. Now, let me just say this. One of the most important things I can say about understanding the book of Revelation is that it is not to be read as if it's a consecutive narrative from beginning to end. Because the book of Revelation is a series of visions that John has about the end times. Earlier, we saw how John had a vision about the beast who would rise and cause destruction at the end of the 7-year period. Well, in chapter 11, we're about to see another vision that John has about this 7-year period. But here, the focus is on not the beast, but the two witnesses. So, John was in the presence of an angel, and he was receiving all of these prophetic visions. And now he's about to see the one about the two witnesses of God. And look at what the angel says to him in chapter 10, verse 11. You must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, languages, and kings. And after John hears that, then God begins to speak to him. 11, verse 3. And I will appoint my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Verse 4. They are the two olive trees and the two lampstands, and they stand before the Lord of the earth. So how long does it say that the two witnesses will prophesy for? You see how it uses code? It uses code for 1,260 days. It wants you to do the math, which is 3.5 years. So we got that right there. They're going to be during this 3.5 year period. Let's keep reading. Verse 5. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. And they have the power to shut up the heavens so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying. And they have the power to turn water into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. Verse 7. Now when they have finished their testimony, the beast, the Antichrist, that comes up from the abyss will attack them, overpower, and kill them. Verse 9, for 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. So it shows here that the two witnesses will be given great power from God to proclaim his word to the world. But when the Antichrist comes, after they have finished their testimony for 3.5 years, then the Antichrist will come, he will overpower them and kill them, and the world will hate them so much that their bodies won't even be given a proper burial. But look at what it says in verse 11. But after 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, come up here. And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on. Verse 15. The seventh angel sounded his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven, which said, the kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Messiah, and he will reign forever and ever. Now, this is deep, because this shows that right after the two witnesses come to life again, they are caught up into the clouds. And then it says, right after that, the Messiah starts to reign on the earth. So that means that this language about how they will be caught up, followed by the Messiah coming to reign, this is likely referring to when Paul said that we all will be caught up. This is likely the same event when the Messiah comes to catch up his people, and then he's going to reign on the earth in his kingdom. Now, the two witnesses vision is very, very deep. And it's going to take a full video to show who and what the two witnesses are. So stay tuned, because it will be the second follow-up video to this, and it will amaze you.